Hey, there we go. We're live now. Sorry, a few minutes late. Ran into some last minute problems there. So, how's it going? The Pentax Talk Live. So, just kind of impromptu. I just kind of do those like like this now. So, just had a few things to talk about. So, it'll probably be about a 30-minute video, maybe more if some people actually join and ask some questions. But I start out by saying I did the firmware upgrade today. For the K3 Mark III, I was a couple of versions behind on it. I don't know if you've seen my video that put out earlier today, but I did 4K video test, kind of see how that went with the old firmware, and then I did the upgrade the firmware and then tried it again because between all those firmware upgrades, there was some autofocus stuff, but I wasn't sure what it did in the actual video. So I just figured I'd try that out first, and we'll see what else changes as I try out this new firmware and see how good it goes. But let me know if you've done the firmware update and anything that you're finding good or not so good with it. And yeah. Oh, now let's talk about what I finally did. And I've talked on these videos before about is insuring my equipment. So I actually talked to my um, state farm rep today, and I've got it all cleared up. I'm going on a beach trip here pretty soon, so all I need to do is I've got a quote, and I sent them. Well, if you're getting let me start over. If you're getting your camera gear insured, was through State Farm. What you need to do, contact them, obviously, and then you don't need pictures of everything. You need the serial number and then what it costs to replace it, and then a description of the item. That's all you need. So I sent that information off, and they gave me a quote. I got to call tomorrow and actually pay for it, but I was surprised on how much how much gear I have. I guess I have what do they call it, gas or whatever. Just the amount of money that I've spent on gear over the years. Uh, so basically, I'm not going to go through all that. I'll do that maybe later. But after adding the K3 Mark III, the K1 Mark II, and several lenses, not actually adding them up beforehand, I when I called the State Farm rep, I think it's around $5,000 if it was all needed to be replaced. Well, then when I put all those numbers, the replacement costs, and all the gear that I had, it ended up being $9,500. So they first quoted me what $5,000 would be, and I think it was $68 per year. And what that covers is it covers lost, stolen, or broken. Say you drop it, and I need to ask when I call and pay tomorrow if you have a camera, say like something that has the aperture block, if it covers like mechanical repairs. I don't think it would, but I'll ask that tomorrow, and maybe I'll give you an update on that. So when I came back and said, no, it's here's the whole list of all my equipment, it's actually $9,500. Um, they quoted me $128 per year, and that's really good. I thought, man, if you like just and there's no deductible, so some of those lenses in there where I put like replacement cost was $275. So if I drop that and it breaks, $275, and only paid $128 per year for that. So I think that's a wise investment. I hadn't done that before, so definitely something for you to look into. I'm basically going to the beach here in a couple of weeks and going to a not so nice hotel. I've been there several times, but I'm wary about leaving my photography equipment inside the room. I've put them in the little safe in there before, but I don't even think this this hotel has a safe. So uh, we'll see about that. But yeah, definitely, I would recommend insuring your photography equipment if you have a lot of it. And yeah, so if you have any questions or comments, you know, leave them in the chat. Thanks for watching. I did get a lens in yesterday, which I forgot I even bid on it. It came with a well, the Star S camera is over there somewhere, but I've got the lens here, and this lens is not it's not rated very well on Pentax forums. Let me take it off. We've got the K1 here, Mark II, and I'll kind of do a teaser here. It's plasticky. It's a wide angle. I guess you would call it almost ultra wide zoom. Anybody know what it is? I'll give you another hint. It's a FAJ. Okay, so it's the see that right there? Is it going to focus? Yeah, 18 to 35. FAJA. Is it JA or J? It shows up backwards on my screen. FAJ. Okay. F4 to F5.6. This thing is like super lightweight, full of plastic. Look at that. I'll be doing a review on this. I think I'm going to take this to the beach with me and do some shots of the hotel architecture and maybe some piers and fishing. But on a K1 Mark II, it kind of looks small. It kind of looks out of proportion to me. What do you think? And but it is lightweight since the camera weighs quite a bit. It will be fun to use. I think it got rated 7.2 or something like that on as far as sharpness. So we'll see. When I look at some of the older reviews on Pentax forums, a lot of those they're using like some of these full frame lenses on crop sensor cameras. So the review doesn't. You have to kind of take it with a grain of salt if you're actually using it on like a full frame camera. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at those reviews. There's test shots that they put on there and stuff, but a lot of times they're not on the K1, they're on something else. So today I'm drinking some homebrew I made. This is a this is a guava wheat. Pretty good. I used to brew beer many years ago, but I hadn't done it lately. So it's nice. I've been kind of getting back into it. Turns out good. It's really quick. I might do a YouTube video about that. If you're into beer, I suggest you try it. It's like really cheap to get into brewing your own beer, and it's like actually cheaper than buying it at the store, and it tastes a hell of a lot better. I'll tell you that. All right. Let's see what else I was going to talk about. Any questions about anything? All right, I'm going to talk about the video I did today. If you haven't watched it, the 4K video with the K3 Mark III and the 16 to 50 millimeter, or 16 to 50 f2.8 PLM lens. So if you watched that video, go ahead and watch it if you hadn't after this video. But I just did a quick test just to show you how it would do in video. I left it in auto, all points across, and I did continuous autofocus. So it did, I would say it did well, but not good at all. I mean, it did well. Where it did well is in the middle of the frame, so you could walk in and out. But if you like moved over here or over there, it wouldn't catch you at all. So there needs to be some work done there. But I mean, I'm not using this camera for that type of stuff. I need to test, since I did the latest firmware, I need to test out some of the other stuff as well. Hey, how's it going? But I thought the video looked okay. So what I did is I tried to do the extreme in that video. So the background was just full of trees that were all over the place. So what's it going to focus on? What's it going to focus on? I was at f2.8. I wore this white same outfit I got on since I did it this morning, white shirt, and then the dark hat, and then the sun was shining in my face. So I thought it would be a really good, like harsh kind of with the bright t-shirt and everything going on in the background to try to catch me in focus and see if it was actually doing what it should. And like I said, it didn't really. But did it perform a little bit better than I thought? I think it performed probably what I thought it would. Being at f2.8, it was slow to focus if you're moving around a lot like this. I mean, that's why I'm using a webcam now instead, because it's in focus. But granted, I was shooting at f2.8. I just wanted to put it through the trial and see how well it did. I guess we'll talk about the so I've been doing all these videos, if you have seen, about other cameras and whatnot, and I had the Sony, what was it, 390 that I tried out, and I was like, man, this is going to be my new kind of lightweight camera to go about it, and all it did was make me miss the K70, and it didn't help that Iverson did his review of after 4 years with the K70. That camera is just incredible. I'm kind of sad I sold it just because it's lightweight. It's got the flippy screen. I was actually looking at they're actually, the K70s are actually selling more than what I sold mine for probably a year ago or whatever. So it's kind of crazy like that. But I looked at it since the video is just me. I want something better than what I'm using for my video. Not this, but the some of my other videos. I missed the K70 because I shot so many videos with that K70, and they were good. And you could use the flip out screen. And a lot of times I would just shoot in manual and just adjust it accordingly, and it worked out really well. And yeah, I just missed that thing. That's why I kind of think I did that last video talking about the K90, because I really want that thing to come out. Hurry up with that, Pentax. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. Do I still have my Pentax Q? I do not. I've had a few of those. So really fun camera. I, I I'll probably buy one again, but I just buy it, and then it's fun to use for like 3 or 4 months, and then it just kind of sits there. And I'm like, well, it's just kind of sitting there. I've got so much other stuff, and I just go ahead and sell it, and then I'm sure I'll buy another one. But yeah, it's a fun camera. I almost wish they'd make another one. You know, kind of. Yeah, that would be blast if they made another one. Just kind of, I don't know what could they do to improve the Pentax Q system. It's got that little. I mean, all the lenses are fun, but I mean, with inflation and the way things are going, as far as them making more lenses for it, oh, they're getting expensive. I hadn't actually looked at a Q lately, but and that's some. Well, let me continue that. I don't know what they would do to make the Q better. What do you think they could do to make the Q better? Um, Put a electronic viewfinder on it. I guess that would be one thing. Um, they've got a lot of manual lenses that are fun to use. Um, yeah, I don't know what they could do to make it better. It's just a fun little camera, and well, it was inexpensive. I'll have to look up the price of it now. So I'll check that out later and see how much they're going up. But I did look at since I was talking about the K70, I was like, well, maybe I'll just buy something until they release like a K90 or whatever, or a KS2 I mean KS3. So I looked at KS2 since the K70s were selling around 450, 470, and I think I ended up selling mine for like 380 or something. But yeah, I looked up a KS2 and I was like, I found one and I didn't win it. They were asking too much for it. They said it was new in the box, but it was like a cool green color. Uh, and I was like, oh, that's cool. But they were asking, they put a reserve on it and they were asking 300 bucks. And I was like, it's kind of expensive. So I don't know. I might buy one. They've got a white one in Japan. It's like, I think after shipping and tax, it would be like 325, something like that. So you think EVF, brass body, and 20 megapixel sensor. Do you think they can make that tiny sensor? Like that'd be pretty hard to do. Make it 20 megapixel sensor. What is it now? I can't remember. I can't remember. Is it 12? I think it's 12, right? Uh, those Q cameras are great to use. If you hadn't checked out my video, the one where I kind of trick it out and I just show all my different things that I got for it. A lot of those things are pretty cool, and I think you'd enjoy those. Okay. Let's see what else I was going to talk about. Oh, so when I did the when I keep on talking about the K90, everybody's saying, "Hey, no, they're gonna do the K3 Mark III first. They're not going to do that." But I don't know about that. I mean the K3 Mark II's been out for a long time, but if you look back and well, I mean, K1's kind of newer. I mean, they only have two K1 and or K1 and K1 Mark II, but in past times, I know it's Ricoh now, but it would be like they would release like the K3, and then it would be the K50, kind of like that. So that's my thoughts of why it might be a K90 coming up next, and plus it wouldn't be very hard to do. And I know everybody wants a flippy screen, but let's do this. Uh, what if it wasn't a K3? What if it wasn't a K90 or wasn't a K1? What would be the coolest camera to come out from Pentax? And I've got a thought on this. I thought about this the other day, and I think it would be really, really cool. Hold on a second. Let me read a couple of these before I. Crystal White loves the K30. Yeah, that K30 is awesome. It's a fantastic camera. I recommend it to anybody. I mean, I think you could actually get it for around 250, something like that, used. And anybody looking at any of those Canon or Nikons in the same price range, it just blows them out of the water. I updated to 141. Thought it might be improvement, but AF wasn't for me. Yeah, yeah, and you hadn't had a chance to do the Astro yet. You know, that's the thing about these cameras is I had the original K1, and I did the Astro Tracer a couple times just to try it out, and uh, it's just like you have to go someplace where there's no light pollution, and so the only time I would use it is when I was out camping, and I tried it out, didn't do too well with it. I mean, it works, but I just really need to do more testing on it, and it's a feature I don't use. And there's a lot of features like Lee Iverson was saying about the K70. There's a lot of features in there that he just hadn't used, and they sound good when you buy it. You're like, oh man, I'm going to use this feature or whatever. But you just don't end up using it, or you just try it out and then you kind of forget about it because you're doing other types of photography as well. So yeah, I think the K90 after the K3 Mark III makes a lot of sense. It's just that because they put the video features in there. Now I want to try this on, since I did the firmware update on the K3 Mark III. I want to try and see if they actually made the video um, actually cut into pieces. Like 4K, you can only do up to 4 gigs on that and the 1080 60p before. So I want to see if they've corrected that and it just continues and it splits it into 2 different videos and it continues to shoot. Um, the Pentax K3 also overheated when I tried it out for long periods of time with the with a 4K video. So those are 2 things that they really need to fix. Um, since the K70 has the flip out screen and it seems kind of the go-to kind of video if you're a Pentax shooter. Um, yeah, and since they expanded the codecs, I think they would go that way next, but maybe not. Let's see. Stephen R, have you ever tried third-party batteries in my K3 Mark III? No, I have not. I have some old ones in the closet when I used them with my original K1, and something seemed a little bit off. So I had enough Pentax batteries because I still had some of those, so I hadn't done that. And I know with other Nikon and Canons, they tend to not work right, and I'm usually not worried about that type of stuff. But anyway, I didn't. I'm just sticking with the Pentax batteries in those, since these are higher priced cameras, $2,000, and well, I think I spent 2,000 on that as well. Um, so I just don't want to take that chance. I've already got the battery, so I need to get one of those like dual chargers though. Those batteries in these, since they match the K1 and the K3 Mark III, they last a fairly long time, but they make generic chargers that they could charge 2 batteries at a time. I think I have 4 batteries total. What was the name of this battery? I can't remember. DI90, something like that. Oh, my eyes are bad. Stephen R, send me some glasses. I can't see. All right. Uh, let's see here. I was going to talk about if it's not like a typical camera that Pentax would release, like just kind of a surprise camera, what would be the best thing that you think they could release if it wasn't one of these Mark II, Mark whatever, or a K90, whatever, KS3 or whatever? What do you think would be an awesome camera? And I'm going to tell you that right now. So it'd be full frame. So, and actually, Canon kind of did this after I stopped shooting Canon, and I thought it would be a good idea for Pentax. Make a lightweight full frame camera. I think that would be really good, and make it with a flip out screen, not this. I know everybody likes this, but I mean it's halfway good, but I want a fully articulating screen. Um, just make it lighter weight. You can make it a plastic body, um, and that way it would help get the price down. You don't have to do it weather sealed. You don't have to. Well, you still have to have image stabilization in the body. You got to have that, right? But take some of the features. I don't know how much does it actually cost to put Astro Tracer or GPS in the camera. I'm curious on that. Is it just like $10 from the manufacturer? It's kind of interesting, but Canon had their 5D series, and then they released the 6D series, and that was actually the camera that I liked more than the 5D when I had it, because it was lighter weight and it was stripped down. It didn't have a lot of the autofocus features that I needed, but it still had a good sensor in there, good full frame sensor. So I took a lot of awesome pictures with that. Um, so that would be cool if they would release that, and like, I want to say $1,200 price tag, but I know it would be more than that. But like a, what, I would say consumer full frame. Would that be right thing there? Yeah, like a consumer full frame camera from Pentax with a flip out screen and lightweight, and I'd buy that. Would you buy that? Seems like it would be a cool thing to for them to come out with, since you've got all these old lenses and stuff like that. Oh, oh, they need a, yeah, another 645 coming out. That would be interesting. I still haven't bought one of those. I need to invest in one of those. Video is a future with TikTok and Instagram paying for content now. Your camera has to have video, has to focus, and you use silent motor lenses. So that video I shot, it was focusing. The earlier 4K test that I did today, it focused and you didn't hear it on the onboard mic. The audio sounded like crap, and I want to tell you why. It sounded so tinny. I had, what was that? I had the noise or wind thing. What is it on? What's it called? It's called the, yeah, wind noise reduction. Is digital wind noise reduction. That's why the audio, if you watch that video, why it didn't sound that good. Generally, Pentax audio and video sounds actually pretty good just for being straight off without having an external mic. Um, I like how you can adjust it. What I've done several videos of me playing drums, and I just turned the audio level down, and I actually use the onboard mic, and I just turned it down to almost one, and it actually picked up my drums fairly well just for like a room mic. I thought it was really good. But all right, thanks everybody for joining. Let's see here. Kodak brand still around. EB Bud. Uh, yeah, they make batteries. I've seen batteries. I haven't seen anything else. I've got some. What were those things called? I can't remember, but they make batteries, and you might see a T-shirt or something. But I hadn't seen anything as far as cameras out there. Let's see here. We're at 28 minutes. Anybody have any questions? Oh yeah, so I'm going to the beach, like I said earlier, if you didn't catch that, and I was trying to figure out. I've got my insurance, should be done tomorrow. Um, I was thinking what to take with me to the beach. So I'm going to do some sunrises, of course, and maybe some sunsets. Um, and I'm think I don't want to drag both camera systems out. So I've been, of course, I'll do some videos there. I use my, I don't know if I've ever said this before. It's not sitting here, is it? I use my Osmo action camera is what I use when you see those kind of GoPro type shots. But I decided, I'm pretty sure I'm going to take my Pentax K1, but I was kind of struggling with it because I'm like, okay, I'm doing these sunsets and sunrises and some other stuff. So I've got all these prime lenses for this camera. But when you're doing sunsets and sunrises, I tend to use like a telephoto zoom. So like, I don't really have anything for this. I was like, I'm gonna have to take a K3 Mark III, right? I was like, was like, do I need to order that 300 f4 DA star lens again, just because it works so well on there? But I'm like, I was like, okay, I'm going to bring the 55 to 300 PLM, and I did a test video of it on here, and it vignettes or does something. So I might just swap it in the crop mode or whatever, and use that, because when you're shooting those sunsets, you need to you think, oh, if this is a landscape, this is a big sunset, whatever. But the best part of the picture is that sun like coming up. So you need to zoom in on that sun and get the most of it. And those clouds are illuminated, and you get the light reflecting off the ocean water. Um, if you take a wide angle shot, look at it and just examine it yourself, and you'll probably say, the best part of this shot is here, not this. So, uh, just something to think about. I've done that several times, and I'm always like, I need the telephoto zoom. It's kind of a landscape shot, I guess, but telephoto zooms they're great. So, Kodak has new mini printers. Got two last week. Okay, what was the Canon Self-Fly? Self-Fly? I bought one of those. Uh, it works pretty good. What's the gosh? Now you're gonna make me think about Kodak. Hold on a second. Let me grab this camera. Yeah, because I just got one of these back in the other day, and I forgot about these cameras. If you hadn't used them, the Easy Share, Kodak Easy Share. So these came out. These actually kind of sell, even though they're like low megapixels. So I'm guessing these were early 2000s. These came out, but they come with a whole docking system that works fairly well, and people still buy these. So I've got a few of these. I hadn't listed them yet, but Stephen R., have you ever tried the mini monitors that mount to the hot shoe to make it up for the lack of the flippy screen? It's funny. That was like one of my first videos on YouTube. I used rigged up something with a Canon. I used a rear backup screen from a car and attached it to my Canon T2i. It used to get lot of, lot of views on that. I hadn't looked at it lately, but um, I had a battery pack that was attached to the screen and everything. I think after all the rigging, it was, I'm guessing, around $80. But yeah, some of those screens are pretty cool, but um, I would recommend, if somebody's gonna do the vlogging or whatever, if that was their main thing, I wouldn't recommend any camera that didn't have a flip out screen. But yeah, it's definitely you could definitely do that. I mean, I could set this up, and you use the HDMI out and plug it in that, and that way I could see what I was recording fairly easy. I could even plug it into this. I think I've done that before. This 55-inch monitor that I'm looking at this on. So okay, so yeah, the Easy Share V530. What is this one? You bought it new in 2005. My eyes, where's my glasses? Let me see how cool. Look here. Oh, see here. I can't see close up, but I could see far away. This is the Z740. And where's the megapixels on this? It is a whopping 5 megapixels. All right. Any last things? Anybody got anything? We're like 35 minutes into this. Thanks everybody for showing up. I really want to get out and It's getting warmer. Like when I shot that video or earlier, the 4K video, I didn't say anything in the video, but I like turned my head and it wasn't 30 feet away from me. If you saw my backyard, there's trees everywhere. But I noticed there was just a deer just laying down there, just eating a new growth off a tree, little sapling or whatever. And then like right next to her was her, well, it wasn't quite a baby, but a young deer as well, and they're just sitting there. That's what I love about East Tennessee, and and they just looked at me and just, what's this crazy guy making a video? And you know, my garage went up and down, and they didn't move. They just were kind of just sitting there chilling. I was like, hey, what's going on? And I mean, I went outside a few times. They were out there for just a couple hours, just laying down, relaxing, enjoying the morning sun. It's real nice to see that. That's a great thing about nature, and especially um, when you get into photography. I mean, it just makes you enjoy nature so much more because you're maybe you don't even have a camera with you, but you've learned to shoot. You've learned a lot about photography, and you just walk by and you see stuff that you probably would have not seen before if you weren't shooting photography. You walk by and you're like, wow, look at that light, just like coming straight down through those trees, just like shining on that plant or mushroom or whatever it is. I'm like, man, that's just, it just makes you appreciate nature so much more. I mean, maybe it's just me getting old too, because you're younger and you're just going on a hike. You're just going on a hike, but just light and just textures and colors. Um, yeah, it makes you appreciate them even more. Okay, John has two FAJ lenses. He said they're okay. So, well, I'm going to be shooting it at like f8. It's f8, so we'll we'll see how that goes. Yeah, like I said, on Pentax forums, they didn't really rate it too high, but I'm going to be trying on a K1. Most of those reviews, I think, were on uh, crop sensor cameras. So we'll see how it goes. Um, should be fun. I need to get. Okay, it's a 67. I think I have a polarizer for that. I'll pull a polarizer out and should be nice. Yeah, I get my stock all over the place of stuff I sell. Uh, eBay, a lot of it, some locally, and there's other auction sites. I mean, you've got Macari and some of the other ones as well. So um, yeah, just check there. Even I haven't bought anything off Pentax forums, but they sell people sell a lot of stuff on there. I need to do a video about that. I need to sell something on Pentax forums and just let you know my experience. And I think I looked into it before. You have to donate like $10 and able to for it to be sold on there. I'm always weary about new sites, and I don't know, if something goes wrong as far as somebody's trying to scam you or whatnot. What are the repercussions as far as that goes? All right, we are almost 40 minutes in. I guess I'm going to call it. So I have something else here to look all over on the desk. Oh, this isn't Pentax related, but I'm going to show you this card. I just think it's cool. I don't even remember these things, but this is a memory card. Anybody know these? They were for Olympus and Fuji. So I've got all these different cards since I've been doing these point and shoots lately. Here is a standard SD card size, and then we got this big one, and these are called Smart Media. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? This one's a whopping 16 megabytes. Kind of crazy. I sold one of these just the other day for $8. Just this card of 16 megabytes. I just thought that was odd, and I'll show you some other various uh, cards. I'm glad that Pentax never did. They had the CF and then and then the SD cards, and they didn't try to do anything like some of these other manufacturers. So this is a Sony stick. This is their big one. So they have two different ones. They've got this. Focus. Anyway, they got that one, and then they did the Duo Pro, which is the smaller one. So you see size difference there. And then of course you have Olympus that had the whopping card like that at first. Well, I'll just put my fingers on it. And then they came out with their XD cards, and Fuji, and then kind of filed suit. Now Fuji's been all over the world. I mean, all over the place, because so Fuji had the XD cards along with Olympus, and then they released I showed it before, a DSLR camera that had a Nikon mount on it. So they've been kind of like, kind of going in between different systems. Anyway, this is Pentax talk. I'm going to stop that. All right. With the correct program, can you extract old deleted pictures off those cars? I'm not sure. I've seen people say that it could do that. Be interesting to see. But like in my eBay video, I kind of look at these old. Here's another one. 32 megabytes. I'll look at the pictures on these when I get these old point and shoots. What we got here? Oh, this one's 2 gigs. So yeah, with some of these older cameras, you have to use the SD card. You can't use the SDHC, high capacity. So if you're into buying older cameras or whatnot, and you get some of these, you might want to keep a few on hand just so you know if your camera's working. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm gonna wrap this up. Everybody have a good night. I appreciate all the support. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll probably do another Pentax talk when I get back from the beach. Maybe I'll do it a little bit better and actually show you my screen, and we can take a look at some of the shots I got. Be a lot of fun. But again, thanks for all the support, and I will see you on the next time. Thank you.